Hello, friends. How's it going? How are you? I hope that you're having a fantastic Monday. Not Monday. What is today? Today is Thursday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Thursday or a fantastic day whenever you are watching this. I am super excited to see each and every one of you guys today, and I hope that you had a good night's sleep or getting ready. If you're getting ready for bed, I hope you have a great sleep. Or if you're getting ready for lunch, I hope that you're getting ready to have a great lunch. Yes, all of those things. As you can see, we're set up just a little bit different today, but it does not change the fact that we are getting ready to continue learning how we can be a great friend to our friends. Yes, so I have a question for you guys. Do you guys have field days? I know whenever I was younger, whenever I was in elementary school, one of my favorite things to look forward to was field day. You had the three-legged race, you had the the potato sack, the potato sack race, you had relay races, and then there was the one thing that I was not the greatest at. Oh, good morning, Caleb and Alexis. How are you guys? Do you guys have a favorite field day event? They also had like pie eating contests occasionally, but they also had cotton candy and popcorn. But again, the one event that I was never the greatest at was tug of war. Tug of war was never the thing that I was the best at. But you also have to realize that tug of war takes more than just one person. Usually you're working as a team, and you're probably wondering, Pastor Benjamin, how does that help me be a good friend? Well, I'm going to tell you. Well, first, before I tell you, I'm going to show you a little video of why, not why. Let's just enjoy tug of war.
What happened? Rematch.
They were ready.
They weren't ready?
Enough there!
Rematch.
No!
Rematch. They weren't ready. Girls, what happened?
I know. This is not fair! You guys are jealous because you guys lost.
I didn't hear that they weren't ready.
Boys, what happened? What happened here, guys? Michael, what happened?
We weren't even ready. I had one arm on. What is Santino doing?
Michael, come on.
What happened, boys?
We won the second time.
What happened, boys?
Yep, sometimes things just happen that way. You just gotta be ready. So tug of war was never something that I was the best at, but I also know that it wasn't all on me. I was working as part of a team. Now we're going to learn today that sometimes life is like tug of war, and being a good friend sometimes is a tug of war. You have these two different sides that are pulling on you, trying to influence you and trying to help you be more like them. So the thing is that we want to always remember that good friends will always point us to Jesus. As a matter of fact, that is our main point today. Good friends point me to Jesus. That is what you want to remember. Caleb likes tug of war, but Alexis likes the three-legged race. I was always good at the three-legged race, Alexis, because I had a really good coordination, and so I could always, no matter who I was with, I was always like boom, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Yes, I could pull that off. But the tug of war, again, was more than just one person by themselves. But I will say this, when life is like a tug of war, we have to be extra careful about who we are pulling against and who we are holding on to. Yes, you see, our friends around us are going to have an influence on us no matter how much time we spend around them. So we always want to make sure that if there are negative influences in our life, that we try to minimize or make a really small amount of time for those negative influences to impact us. We want to be around people that are going to point us to Jesus. Now, here is the thing. If you are hanging around a negative person, it's like you're pulling back and forth for on tug of war against them. And maybe sometimes you just need to let them go, because eventually you're going to go over to the other side. Or If you get more people around you who have a positive influence around you, and you are pulling because you want to make a positive influence on that person, that can always happen. But sometimes things happen this way, and we get those people who have positive influences around us, and we're pulling against them because we don't want to do the right thing. Sometimes we also need to just walk onto that other side and let ourselves be around those positive people. And we're going to see in today's Bible story that sometimes, even whenever there's a lot of negativity around us, we can still make the right choices. So let's check out Bongo and see exactly what he is up to today.
Hello, everybody.
I am the amazing Bongo.
Maybe you could wait for me to say my name, Cameron, and then you could say your name after that.
Not how we're doing it today, because again, I'm the amazing Bongo, and I am far too important and excited to reveal my latest creation, the
Bongotron 5000!
I was going to say it, plus that's not what I'm unveiling.
Literally right in front of our faces. I mean, you've showed us this several times, and honestly, it's not all that impressive. Sorry. The best thing it actually does is play YouTube videos. See?
Yep.
Classic.
No. It can do so much more, Mr. Cameron. And besides, this is not the Bongotron 5000.
It sure seems like the Bongotron 5000.
No, this here is the Bongotron 5001.
5001.
Yes.
Right. How can I be so ignorant?
Wouldn't we like to know? Last week, I had unveiled the Bongotron's latest update, Susan, designed to give me words of affirmation and encouragement, just like this.
This never works.
Isn't that right, Susan?
Correct, Bongo. I am Susan. And you are Bongo.
See?
And you, sir, are incredibly,
Yes.
exceptionally,
Go on.
simple,
What?
foolish,
No.
and ultimately downright
Don't you say it.
hairy.
Ah! Excuse me, Mr. Cameron, while I tweak a few things here on old Susan.
Well, actually, this is great. It reminds me a lot of what we're talking about today. We're talking about how it's important not to spend too much time with the wrong people. Susan here, although hilarious to me, not all that encouraging to Bongo. You see, when we spend too much time with the wrong people, it can really affect us. I mean, just look at the story of Jesus. One day after Jesus finished teaching a crowd of people, a father named Jairus came to see him. Jairus asked Jesus to come to his house because his daughter was very sick. But it took Jesus a while to get there. And by the time he was on his way, Jairus' daughter died. One person who was with Jairus said, "What's the point? She's dead. Don't even bother Jesus with this anymore." So many people were filled with negative talk, even as Jesus arrived at Jairus' home. But Jesus knew that that kind of talk had no place around him. Jesus walked into the house, made the negative people leave, and he only let a few disciples and the parents go in with him to see the girl. Jesus said, "Little girl, get up." And she did. He raised that girl from the dead. Here's what Jesus knew. When you hang around with negative people, it'll bring you down. Negativity has no place around you. That's why we need to surround ourselves with encouraging people, like Jesus did.
And I'm done.
You fixed Susan?
Oh no, even better. Susan is no more.
You killed Susan?
Out with the Susan and in with Bruce.
Wait, who's Bruce?
Bongotron 5001's brand new artificial intelligence.
So you just gave it a new voice.
Something like that. And he's far more encouraging and perfect, Tori.
Not a word.
To be the perfect artificial intelligence for me, Bongo. Isn't that right, Bruce?
Correct. Bruce here, at your command. Amazing Bongo.
Ooh, I like him better already.
Wow, great job, Bongo. Even you know not to hang around with negative people, even if you do have to make them yourself.
Excuse me, Bongo. Why did you replace me with Bruce?
What?
Susan's back.
Hey, Bruce, what do you get when you cross a ridiculously hairy monkey with a ridiculously terrible wannabe supreme leader who can never do anything right?
I do not know. Please tell me.
Don't you dare tell him.
You get
No.
A.
Don't say it.
Bongo. Ha 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 ha.
I mean, it's pretty funny. You okay, Bongo?
So, obviously, Bongo still has some things that he needs to learn, but there are things that we can learn from him and from that story. If you remember in the story, Jairus had a daughter who was very sick, and as they were going to find Jesus and bring Jesus back, on the way, Jairus' daughter died. And the people around Jairus began to tell him, hey, don't bother Jesus with that stuff. You need to leave Jesus alone. Like, Jesus has more important things to do. But Jairus continued on. Even when he was surrounded around all of that negativity, he still trusted that God was going to do something. And Jesus did. He moved all those negative people away, and he healed that girl. So here's the thing. Even when we are surrounded around negativity, we can still trust that God has a plan for us and that Jesus did what he did for a reason. And remember, our main point, it says that good friends point me to Jesus. Jairus in that moment did not have a lot of great friends. As a matter of fact, it also reminds me of the story of Job. If you remember, whenever Job was going through all of his different trials, several of his friends were like, God has left you. God doesn't think that you're important. God does not love you. But he had one friend. And sometimes that's all it takes, is that we have one friend that will point us in the right direction. And as a matter of fact, it tells us in the Bible in 1 Corinthians 15:33, do not be misled. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. So sometimes we can have the best intentions, but we get around the wrong people and they can have a very negative influence on our lives. So if we remember that good friends are the ones that point us to Jesus, and that if we spend too much time around negative people, that they can have an impact on our character, which is essentially what makes you you. Yes, that character is what God has instilled in you to make you your unique, amazing, phenomenal self. And we also need to remember that we have the power to impact others. Yes, you right there watching right now, me, your mom, your dad, your uncle, your sister, your cousin, your brother, your auntie, your grandma, your grandpa, all of these people, your teachers, have an impact around the people that they are around. So I have a question. What are you going to do today? How are you going to lead others, point them to Jesus, or are you going to check yourselves and check the people around you and ask, hey, are these people pulling me towards Jesus, pointing me towards Jesus, or are they pulling me away? Because you can only go two directions. You can either go towards Jesus or away from Jesus. So what are you going to do? That is my question for you today, boys and girls. And I hope that you have thoroughly enjoyed this time. Also, remember, I already have a few friends that are joining us this Saturday for another game time. So I cannot wait for that this Saturday. But if you have an interest in being part of our game show on Saturday, make sure your mom or dad sends an email to kids@citycenterchurch.com. I will be in touch with them. Likely there's going to be an email that's going to go out on Friday so that they know the instructions on what to expect. I'm excited to see Skyla and Alyssa and Caden and Alexis and Caleb because it's going to be a very, very, very fun time. We've had so much fun with these, and I cannot wait to continue them and to bring them to this YouTube channel. All right, guys, I think that's everything. Remember, good friends point you to Jesus, and if you are going to call yourself a good friend, you need to point your friends to Jesus. Sometimes life is a tug of war. You just have to ask yourself what side you are on, right? Okay? All right, I'll see you guys later.